Good morning, ladies. I hope you all are doing good today. We're here in our happy place again today, sewing. My cinematographer is not with me today. She's got schoolwork she has to do, so she's doing that. So today you probably won't hear any yawning like yesterday, but we're gonna wing it here as best we can. So I hope you guys are having a good, what's today, Wednesday, and that things are going good. It's kind of cold here, a little bit gray too, but we're here and happy to be here. So spool challenge is still going on. If you're wanting to get spools in here, let's get busy sewing. Keep busy sewing, sewing for other people, masks, whatever you guys are doing, getting projects done, having fun. I hope so. Okay, happy mail today comes to you from Malcolm Gladwell. Practice isn't a thing you do once you are good. It's the thing you do that makes you good. And I would agree. Practice doesn't make perfect. It's perfect practice that makes you better. So trying to get better, learning new skills, it's all the good things we do. So keep at it. Keep swinging. Today, I am thankful. Let's see. I've said bed, coffee. I'm thankful for a porch. I haven't spent as much time on there as I had hoped I would because it's kind of chilly. But I'm thankful for a porch that I can go to and be outside and sit and have coffee and stitch. Those are some of my favorite things. One day we talked about notions that we really like. I would be interested to know what your one thing is that you, I don't want to say collect because that sounds, maybe that's not what you would say that it is, but like one thing that you really like. Like I really like scissors, all different kinds of scissors, and I have way more scissors than anybody should have, but I'm always willing to buy a new one. I like little ones, I like fabric ones, I like ones that have dots on them, ones that are shaped like a bird. I like old ones. I like pinking shears. I even like ones that really don't work, and I can show you some of them sometime, but I just like scissors. I know some of you collect like spools and bobbins, and I would be interested in what you guys like. So yesterday I really butched the demonstration I wanted to show you, so I'm going to try to like do better with that one and do another one today. So we were taking jelly roll strips and putting them on top of each other. So this one is going horizontally and this one is going vertically. And you literally sew all the sides shut. I don't know if you can see this or not because I do have some invisible thread that I used. I had it in my machine that I was using, but you sew all the sides, all four sides shut. And then you're going to cut diagonally across each corner. So you're going to end up with 4 little pieces that look like this when you're done. So this would have been a block. Let's see if I can put these together. Like I said, my helper's not with me today and I feel kind of lost. Okay, so this would have been the block before I cut it apart. Can you kind of see where my pieces would be here? And then when you open them up, you end up with a really cool piece like this. Really, really cool. But like I said, because it's cut on the bias, the stretchy part of it, like you can really stretch this thing every way. And if you're not careful when you sew these together, you can really sew them together crooked. So when you want to do your blocks with your pieces, what I did with mine was I made the middle parts touch like that way is how I did mine. But you play around with them and you kind of decide what you want. And then this was the finished block. And there is no way in the world, this is my taste of color. For those of you that know me personally, this is kind of like out there for me. But it was a good price. The jelly roll was a good price, and so that's why I got it. Because I like to play around with them, and this is a good way to do. So if you'd want to put sashing in between here, I thought black would be kind of striking. So There you go. That's an idea what you can do. Okay, yesterday I showed you the bag I was working on, and I told you that you should never feel bad about things that you have in your stash, like ahead, because you never know when you're going to need them. And in my stash that I had was a bag of clear vinyl. So I can make a bunch of these bags. If I hadn't had this, I couldn't make these bags. But I did something else with the bag yesterday too that I want to share with you. This is not my idea bag. I didn't come up with this idea. This is actually an old pattern, but I'll tell you where you can get it if you don't want to like follow along today, or you can't, or you want to go back and recheck something. It is from a lady by the name of Christina, and she is from Center Street Quilts. Center Street Quilts is where she's from. She did it. It's on Modus Bake Shop. It's old. It's an old pattern. I think it's from March 2018. So you might have to go back and look a little bit. It's called, the name of the project is Vinyl Project Pouch. Okay, what you're going to need for it is 2.5-inch squares. You're going to need 32 of those. So a charm pack works really well. You're not going to need all of them since you need 32. So kick out 6. Sometimes there's duplicates. Amy really enjoys this part of it. So if I give her a charm and I'll say, I need, you know, so many, like this time, I need 32 of these guys. Well, no, 36 of them, and lay them out 6 by 6. She loves to do that. So I usually give her like a tray. I have that they just all fit on, and I say 6 by 6, that's what I need. So when you're laying these guys out, they go in rows 6 by 6. And you'll sew with a 1/4-inch seam, and when you sew them together, this is what you're going to get. This group is Sweetwater. I believe it's print shop, maybe. I think Print Shop is what it's called. So this is the group that I used for your thing today. So I sewed them together 6 by 6. You're going to need a piece of batting. The piece of batting can be a scrap piece of batting that you have left over from something. They say 15 by 15, and that's a nice size batting, piece of batting to use. And she talks about a fat quarter on the back side, but it could also be 15 by 15. So that works too. So you need batting, a fat quarter of material for the back. When you get these guys together, I would take my 505 spray. I would spray my batting, lay this on, smooth it out, do the same with my batting on the back side. You're also going to need 3 other pieces of fabric. They could all be the same. However much variety you want to give is really up to you. You're going to need a piece that's 6 by 14, and you're going to need a piece that's 4 by 14. And I'll show you where these guys go. So the 4 by 14 is this piece right here. This is the 4 by 14, and this is the 6 by 14. So you can see that I made mine the same on this one. On the one I'm going to show you today, I did them differently. And then you're going to need 2 pieces that are 2.5 wide by the width of your fabric for your binding. Those 2 would get sewn together. So we have a 4 by 14 piece, which is this piece, a 6 by 14 piece, which is this piece, and 2 2.5 wide inch strips that we're going to sew together, and that would be our binding. Okay? So let's get at how we do this. So you sew your 2.5 inch wide strips together, 6 by 6. You have that done. You could quilt this back piece however you wanted to. You can go as crazy as you want to. And this is a good time for us to be practicing our machine quilting. Some of you are a little intimidated to do this, and you know, it's okay. You can just straight line. You could just sew in the seams here if you wanted to. You could sew both directions. You could sew this way and this way if you liked. You could sew across the diagonal if you liked. As much quilting or as little quilting as you like. But I would do a little bit. Maybe you just want to do a plus sign. You could do that if you wanted to. Whatever you want to do, okay? So that'll be done. You'll want to square that up to 12.5 inches. If you're not using the 3.5 inch squares or the 2.5 inch squares, your piece will square up 12.5. And I did not for my second project, and I'll show you that one next. Okay, so the 4 by 14 inch piece that we're going to have, which was this one that I'm going to use for this one. This was my 4 by 14. You're going to take it and fold it in half, press it good, and then you're going to fold that in half again. So you've got kind of a little channel, And this is where your vinyl piece is going to go into. Okay, we're just going to top stitch the vinyl right in there. And if you've ever sewed with vinyl, you know that your sewing machine is probably not going to like sewing on the vinyl. It's just going to slip and slip. So move your needle over so that you have your needle on the fabric. And this is a time when those Wonder Clips or some kind of clips, whatever you use. I know some of you use clothespins. That's fine if that's what you want to use. You're not going to want to pin through your vinyl because it's going to leave holes that you can't make go away. Okay, so top stitch close to either edge of your fabric. So this edge down here and the top edge too. And my piece was longer. The vinyl was 16 inches wide, so I still have some to trim off. Okay, that goes there. The 6 by 14 inch piece, we're going to fold that in half too. And this really threw me in the pattern because I liked finished edges. And she told me to put the fold edge on the zipper. And I was like, what? What about this edge up here? Well, this edge goes into where the binding is, so you're good. All right? Those of you who struggle with zippers, don't think of this as putting a zipper in. Think of this as top stitching. So when you have this sewn, then you're going to top stitch your zipper right in there like that, okay? That would just go right in there. So just for sake of what we're doing here, I'm just going to clip that little zipper in place. And if your zipper is longer than your fabric is, that's fine. Don't cut anything off till you have it all sewn, and then you can cut off the tails. So with this piece, I would want my writing to be going the right way. And with my fold towards the zipper, we would just top stitch that zipper to there. So we have one whole section. We would have the vinyl, and then we'd have this little tab, we'd have the zipper, and then we would have this tab. So we have two pieces now that we can lay on top of each other. You can decide, on her pattern, she said that the charm piece was supposed to be on the back here, but I thought, oh, I would like to see it in here, so I put it on the inside of mine. You can do it on the back side if you want to. That's totally however you want to do it. It's really up to you. When you have that all done, then you add the binding to it. I did my bindings all by machine, so I start with my binding on the back side. I sew it on that way, then I flip it over and I top stitch the top side of it. I use invisible thread and I sew close to the edge. That's how I do it. If you want to do it by hand, then go in the, stitch it to the front, flip it to the back, and sew it by hand. When I did this, I thought, oh, but I bet you some of you don't have vinyl at home because you're not stash hoarders like I am. So I was trying to think of something else fun to do, and I came up with a lot of ideas. How cute would it be if you could take red and black squares and you did this big enough, so like she just arbitrarily made it this way, but if you're doing your own, how about if you made the back like a checkerboard and you could store your checkers inside of here? If you have someone that is a nut about playing checkers, how cute would that be to do? Just really cute, like red and black, alternating the squares in the back side, and then you could put checkers in the front. Or if they play chess, you could do the same thing with that as well. I just think that would be cute. So we have chalkboard fabric at the store, and I thought it would be really fun to do chalkboard fabric here. And you could put your chalk on the inside. You could put a little, you could make like a homemade chalkboard eraser in there that you could store inside of there too. Those of you that have embroidery machines, you can embroider some, or you could even hand stitch their name up here if you wanted to, if you're the Gigi and you're doing something really cute for your kidders. And then I just used really fun car fabric on the back. I didn't do squares on this one, so this one is just crazy quilting, and then I used the same truck fabric on the inside as well. I thought you could store your little cars in there, and I found some little cars that you could just pretend the quilting was a road that you were going on. So it would just maybe be like a nice quiet toy or something different, or something easy to pop in the mail for them too. So quick and easy little project bags. This one I didn't use vinyl, I used the chalkboard fabric. So, but again, I think here you could do some let's say that you didn't have either one. You don't have the vinyl and you don't have the chalkboard fabric, whatever. You could do some kind of stitchery down here, or maybe you have a stitchery that you've done and you're like, oh man, I don't know where to put that. I wish I could put it in a bag. Well, here you go. Here's your bag. You could just put it right on here and off you go. How cute would that be? So, all right, lots of ideas for you ladies that you can do and have and use. I'll give you the measurements again in case you missed them. Whatever size you want this to be. This was a, I believe, well, let me measure. I want to think it's 9 inches is what I think it is. Yes, it's 9 by 14. So, and like I said, I had vinyl, so I used vinyl with this one. You need that. You need a zipper. You need a 14-inch zipper or longer. You can always cut the zippers off. Just be careful that you have everything sewn before you cut it off and you don't have your zipper end out over there. That would be a catastrophe. I don't know how you just have to start all over again with a new zipper, I think. Unless you know how to take them apart. You're going to need 2 pieces that are 2.5 wide for your binding pieces. You're going to need a piece that's 4 by 14 for this piece. You're going to need a piece that's 6 by 14 for this piece. This was a fat quarter. You could do 15 by 15 too and quilt it and then square it to 12.5. If you want it this size, if you want it bigger, then go bigger if that's what you want to do. Tomorrow we're going to be at the store. We're going to be there from 10 to 1. If you need anything there, Corey's fabrics are on sale. The 30 fabrics are still on sale. I know some of you are doing an incredible job sewing masks for people. Bless you, bless you, bless you. I'm just over the moon about what I see you guys doing. It almost makes me cry. Your kindness. And I love that you're taking the ability and the talent that you have to do something to help someone else. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And whew, okay. I love that about you guys. I love that you're sharing. The You Sew You Sew Girl group on Facebook is still there if you want to see people are sharing projects that they're doing. And I love seeing that too, what you guys are up to and sewing and doing. So check on a friend today that you maybe haven't heard from for a while. See how they're doing. May is Mental Health Month, and I think it's important for us to be remembering that some people are really struggling and they just need a hand, help, a voice on the other end of the phone, something. So do what you can do to help somebody there. Anything else I can think of? I think I'm done. And if I forgot something that you guys wanted to know about or something, just say, hey, crazy woman, you forgot me, and I'll try to get you fixed up, because I know I have some that I've overlooked, and it's like, oh yeah, Tammy wants to know about needles and I haven't done that, and somebody else wants to know about Jackie, and it's, yeah. So just in kindness, just be like, hey, what about my so-and-so, and I'll try to get you fixed up. So all right, you guys, take care. Hope you feel the love today and have a good day. Bye-bye.